Here. Mr. Kozer.
Here.
Mr. Seigel.
Here.
Mr. Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Rex.
Here. Stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the September 25th meeting. So moved. Second. Motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. 6-0, Mr. Lauer. Special reports. First to Community Recreation Center.
Yeah, I wanted to show you this video. I don't know whether everyone's had a chance to be in the rec
We
center.
currently have a lot of updates going on here at the Recreation Center. We always like to do new projects and keep things up and going, but we have not done any major renovations for 19 years. So it's really cool to do these big projects. We've been working on putting in new flooring here in the entranceway, in the bathrooms, down through the hallways, upstairs, and going up the steps. We also repainted the entire gymnasium, which is really bright and beautiful now. So it's really nice to see these big projects coming into play. The rec center is really used a lot. It's a big focal point here in Peters Township. We have a lot of classes, programs, events going on here all the time. And so it's important to keep the integrity of the building up. I think that these improvements create a nicer experience for our members and our visitors that are coming in here every day on different levels. They come in here, they see a nice, new, clean facility. The renovations that we've done really are drastic to our overall appearance. There's a huge difference in what we see here. Our flooring was in bad disrepair. It really needed a big update. And everybody that came in here daily would notice that, and they certainly see the improvement that's taken place. So we invite the community to stop in and see all the work that's been done here. We'd like you to come and see for yourself. Come and check out our rec center, get a membership, come and join a class. We're always happy to see you.
What Lisa said there is correct. We've been getting all kind of positive response in terms of the work that was done over there, and I give Ryan a lot of credit because Ryan managed that project for us. The next thing I just wanted to point out to you, the fire department had its open house. There were, Chief, how many people there?
400.
Yeah, and if you never had a chance to go to the open house, the open house is just an amazing community event. It draws a lot of young firefighters like this, but there's things that are of interest to everyone in the community, and it's an amazing event. They house. This Sunday, there's a similar event that's going to be here in the parking lot, and it actually features all three public safety groups, and there'll be things for young children, but there'll also be things for families in general. So, and the last thing I wanted to talk about was Halloween. We had the haunted trail last Friday and Saturday. There were over close to 3,000 people who attended that. What's kind of neat about the event is that it's all staffed with volunteers. These are all people from the community. It's kind of interesting how many goblins we have in our community. But there were 75 volunteers that made it possible. It's a joint effort between the Public Works Department, the Parks and Rec Department, the Police Department was represented there as well. In addition to that, there is the Trunk or Treat program that will be occurring on the 21st. There's another thing that's geared for younger people that is going to be occurring on the 12th. We have movies in the park, and these are somewhat geared for older kids and adults. And then the library has the Booze, Brews, and Books program that will be occurring this month as well. So, and if I can, there's one last thing I'd like to point out, because it's the big event or the big news item that I saw. Carter Shanafeld scored 4 times against Moon Township. So
You made a good game out of something that was pretty sad in the first half.
He's up for player of the week or something. It's on Facebook. Vote, go vote.
We've advertised for it.
All right, we'll move into audience comments. This is the part of the meeting where any member of the audience can speak for up to 5 minutes on a non-agenda item. Is there anyone who wishes to speak? Seeing nobody, we'll move right into unfinished business, of which there is none, so we'll get into new business. First item is agreement between Peters Township and the International Association of Firefighters, local number 4750. Mr. Lauer.
So we have in front of you tonight a proposed contract with the firefighters. It's a 5-year contract. In 2024, the increase in wages is 3.25%, in 25, 2.75, and for the remaining 3 years, it's 2.5. There are other things in that contract, a reduction in the amount of sick leave that can be accumulated. There's some things to help us with scheduling by restricting when personal days can be used. There's a provision in this contract that allows firefighters to use sick leave for Family Medical Leave Act. This places the sick leave after other paid forms of leave so that we don't have somebody off on family medical leave and coming back and taking vacations. But in overall, I think it's a very fair contract, and it's one that Kyle and I are pleased to recommend to council that they approve.
I have one question. With the sick days, I can't remember, is that 24 hours or 8 hours? In particular,
They're
I'm looking at
hours.
so the $150 for each sick day that exceeds 600 hours, would they have to work, though, 8 hours to get that, or 24?
So this is a challenge inside the fire contract. So every time they take a day off, they lose 24 hours. So for them, you have to work 3 months to get back to the point that you're up to the limit, okay? What they're getting paid $150 is for a sick day, which is a 24-hour period.
Anybody else have any comments or questions on the proposal?
I'll make a motion, council authorizes appropriate township official to execute agreement between Peters Township and the International Association of Firefighters, local number 4750.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. 7-0, Mr. Lauer. Next item, resolution authorizing the distribution of municipal pension funds.
So each year, the General Municipal Pension System State Aid Program, municipalities receive an allocation from the state to offset a portion of their pension obligations. And this year, Peters Township received $676,035, and this exceeds what we have budgeted under this category by $152,800, which means that the share of township money will be be decreased by that amount. In 2023, our minimum municipal obligation is $1,106,811. So the township's on the hook for the remainder of that. You are required to allocate this money within 30 days of the receipt of it, the thing is, the police pension plan is the only defined benefit plan you have, so it makes sense to put as much of that money against that defined benefit plan as possible. And then the remainder of it, $100,716, will be allocated to the plan for the Public Works Department. So it's my recommendation that council adopt Resolution 10-123 authorizing the distribution of municipal pension funds.
I move that we adopt resolution number 10-01-23, authorizing the distribution of municipal pension funds.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. 7-0, Mr. Lauer. Next item, statement of the minimum municipal obligation associated with employee pensions.
So each year, the township is required to calculate the minimum municipal pension obligation for the upcoming year. It's done on a formula that's actually determined by the state of Pennsylvania, and it takes into account information that's provided by the plan administrator. In 2024, the minimum municipal obligation will be $1,084,903.
All right, I'll make a motion that we acknowledge receipt of the 2024 statement of the minimum municipal pension obligation.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. 7-0, Mr. Lauer. Next item, award of a contract for group life and disability insurance.
Ryan, do you want to explain?
Yeah, sure. So every several years, usually 3 years or 4 years, we bid out the group insurance, which constitutes the group life insurance that each full-time employee gets, AD&D, accidental death and dismemberment, short-term disability, which is new as of the past few years. We used to self-insure that, and long-term disability. For the past 4 years, the contract's been held by it's One America, and their broker is Ensco Long. So we bid this very similarly to how we do the liability insurance when Maury Murphy was here. We get a series of brokers, and we match brokers up with markets or insurers. This was actually a really robust bid. We had 5 brokers, and we had 10 different markets that were potential bids. The low bid we got there, and the unit pricing that you see there is something you would see on our group insurance bills. The low bid was from McMiniman Insurance, with the insurance carrier being Symetra. McMiniman previously held this contract for at least 7 years, from I believe 2010, or from 2012 to 2019. They've been pros to work with. Kyle, myself, and Wendy Klima met with Symetra. We were very happy with that meeting, and we feel they're actually located right across the road in Bethel Park. We're very happy with the service we think they can offer. Their pricing is actually an annual savings of $12,887 over our current provider. So over a 3-year contract, that's a savings of almost $39,000. So it's my recommendation that we award a 3-year contract for group insurance to McMiniman Insurance Group through their carrier, Symetra.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. 7-0, Mr. Lauer. Next item, approval for recording purposes of the Perrotti Ulrey Lot Line Revision Consolidation Plan Number 1 is shown on drawings prepared by Keystone Surveying and Mapping, Inc., dated August 22nd, 2023, for Charles Perrotti and Thomas and Catherine Lombardi.
So this illustration that was prepared by the planning department shows you exactly what's occurring here. So they're removing a line between 2 existing lots. There's a small triangular piece that's being conveyed to the adjacent property owner. That property is non-conforming in terms of its size. This actually improves that situation by increasing the area. So it's my recommendation that Peters Township Council approve for recording purpose of the Perrotti Ulrey Lot Line Revision Consolidation Plan Number 1.
So moved. Second. Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. 7-0, Mr. Lauer. Next item, authorization of the purchase of a vehicle for the police department.
So the police department, there was a vehicle that was recently involved in an accident. The car was hit by another driver. It has been totaled. And so we need to replace that vehicle. We've been able, or I should say the police department's been able to locate a Ford Interceptor, and it's under the CoStar's pricing. This would be a vehicle that we would have been replacing next year anyhow, so this will reduce the number of vehicles that we'll replace in 2024. So it's my recommendation that Peters Township Council award contract to Laurel Auto Group for the purchase of a 2023 Ford Interceptor for a price of $37,880.
Are we getting any reimbursement from the insurer of the person that hit the car?
We are going to get a settlement with regard to that. I don't know what that value is. So next year, these vehicle purchases were coming out of the equitable share account. we're going to do this purchase out of the equitable share account and then reimburse that account for whatever it is the insurance company provides us.
Were both drivers okay?
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the purchase of the automobile through Laurel Auto Group at the price and terms set forth by Mr. Lauer.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. 7-0, Mr. Lauer. Payroll and Bills, Dr. Borosco.
Yes, I have reviewed payrolls and bills. All are in good standing order. Make a motion to approve.
I second. Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. 7-0, Mr. Lauer. Anything we need to discuss under correspondence?
No.
Anybody want to discuss any of the various board, commission, or authority minutes?
Nope.
I'll be shocked if I ever hear a yes to that remark. Miscellaneous zoning hearing board report.
Is there anything in the report that we need to talk about? It was the barest of all reports because the zoning hearing board hasn't met for a while.
No hearings, no report. Anything anybody wants?
Well, under miscellaneous, I do want to point out, it looks as though the roundabout, the timeline is for it to be finished by the beginning of November. There's one more detour that's coming that will take and close off a portion of the roundabout people are using right now. The other thing, just in time for the completion of that, we have a meeting coming up with the water company in PennDOT. They're going to begin work at Bebout and East McMurray Road with the relocation of the water line. And that's going to cause a disruption inside of that intersection. So
I think the roundabout is good, right?
the roundabout looks really good.
And you move?
Yes. Particularly since there's only 2 lanes right now.
Oh, right.
We'll wait for that
Still
third
feel like
lane.
the movement is
Yes.
good.
Yes. They've done a nice job on that.
A couple questions. It's the second fall that I have been dismayed with the condition of Route 19 from, I guess I would probably specifically say out in front of our Subaru dealer going all the way down to Valley Brook. I thought it needed to be repaved last year. It hasn't gotten any better, so my opinion certainly is reinforced.
Yeah, coming down that hill, is that what you're talking about? Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
It's been like that for a while.
I would agree.
Winter when all those potholes start opening up.
And there's a couple of potholes on the other side of Valley Brook that are also bad.
It goes away.
My second item is we, again, continue to recognize and thank him for being here, is our student member of council. I gave him a homework assignment. Were you able to figure it out?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you credit for that. What was the answer that you found?
Well, you got to come up to the microphone, this young Mr. Mills.
Because we get another one.
Yeah, so the difference between Commonwealth and state is there's no difference at all, really.
That's the Google answer. And I don't.
No, I asked my AP Gov and U.S. History teacher, and they said, 250 years ago there was a difference, but now there's no difference at all.
Lewis has a different opinion. The difference is statehood is granted by the federal government, and typically it was to what were they called? They were called
Territories?
territories. There we go.
Yeah, they were territories.
Okay, but a commonwealth is formed by the people that live in it.
Yeah, that's what it said on Google, too.
And that's really the difference. The federal government had nothing to do with the establishment of the Commonwealth. Okay. Now, one thing that puzzled me for a long time living in the community was how many members of council?
7.
7. And do you know in what sequence we vote for the council?
I do not.
You would think it would be like 4 and 3, right?
Yeah.
It's not.
What was it, 7-0 every time?
No. Go find out and figure out why.
All right.
It's an interesting understanding
Okay.
because it took It took months for us to actually come up with the
Just go vote
understanding.
next month.
The number's easy to come by. The explanation of why we do it is the harder part of that question.
Got it.
Good job. Thank you.
Anything anybody wants to see on the next agenda?
I don't know if I want this on the agenda, but I just wanted to make a comment about, I drove by that Miranda plan down off of, is that Sugar Camp?
Not Robey.
Huh?
Frobe.
Yeah, Frobe. It looks horrible. I mean, everything's tore out. There's not a tree. There's no guardrail up there. I mean, is that all going to be done? Are they going to be doing that kind of stuff? Or
Yeah, weren't we looking into putting guardrails up there?
We have guardrail, we did put guardrail up, it's being extended.
Okay.
Did they get a permit to remove the pond? I was surprised to see that go away. They did?
I don't think that was on the plan.
Yeah.
all right, well, I mean, I just thought
It is unsightly, there's no question about it.
Yeah, I really didn't like it, but what are you going to do?
Anybody else got anything for the good of the order?
I do. I want to go back to Bob's first point that he had. Route 19, how does PennDOT work that? I mean, do they repave a certain amount of times, every certain amount of years, or?
Oh, there's no magic to when PennDOT comes in and does things. And we can ask, but that's probably a project that's coming out of the maintenance office as opposed to
I don't know, the
a union time.
last couple times they've contracted that out.
Yeah, but we can ask, but I won't guarantee you that anything's going to happen on Route 19.
And then one more thing, sorry. The roundabout, I think we talked about how they don't do any beautification of it, so like in the middle, the circle.
No, there's a landscaping plan, and there will be these type of these poles with banners will be placed there as well.
Oh,
Okay.
There you go.
Just so everybody's up to date, the voting district, the changes that council authorized will not go into effect this fall. They'll go into effect next spring.
So
and that's-
everybody votes where they
used to,
vote
yes.
last year, or last election.
Right.
Where you voted in the primary, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, do we have a new date yet for the board appreciation reception?
We do not, but I was thinking at this point, it might make more sense to do it after the holidays than to attempt to squeeze it in before the holidays, but
Works for me.
Works for me, too.
Be easier to get it.
All right, we have an executive session?
yes, we do.
All right, meeting adjourned.